Hi, my name is Lyric, and today we are going to be reacting to an article called NBA 2023 Predicting the Top 20 NBA Stars 5 years from now. And this was posted in 2018. It is now 2023, so it has been 5 years since they predicted the top 20 players in 5 years. So let's see how well their predictions were. Now, I'm not sending a hate to this article right here. Shout out Matthias Honorado. Because if I predicted the top 20 players in 5 years, I think actually that'd be a good video idea. I might do that, so comment if you want that, because I think it'd be a pretty interesting video. It'd be extremely difficult. So much changes in the NBA in just 1 year, and let alone 5. So, yeah, let's get into it. So let's see how well they predicted the top 20 stars. We're already starting off on a bad note, because before I started the video, I just read this top part right here and the thing. I haven't read the article, and it says, the NBA will be a much different league in 2023. The Warriors dynasty will be over, and LeBron may be ready to retire. They just said that as if it was like a fact. Well, yeah, in 5 years, Warriors dynasty will be over, and LeBron may be ready to retire, which would not be at all a crazy statement to say as a fact in 2018. Like, oh yeah, in 5 years, the Warriors dynasty must be over, and LeBron's probably going to be ready to retire. And yet, neither of those things are true. We're already starting off on a bad note. Because the Warriors literally won the championship last year, and they are a strong contender to win it this year. I don't know how the playoffs are going. I record my videos like a week before, because I schedule all of them. But they're a contender to win it this year. Their dynasty is certainly not completely over. And LeBron is still like really good. Not like the top player in the NBA, but he's still really good. Definitely not retiring this season. So let's get into who they thought the top 20 players would be. I already know that they're going to mess up this guy right here really badly, as anyone would. He should have been top 20. Should have been top 20. And number 20. Okay. Hold up. We have Aaron Gordon. Wow. Okay. Okay, so starting off bad. I mean, Aaron Gordon's not a bad player. You can argue he's the second best player on the first seed. But, yeah, definitely not even close to top 20. Definitely not even close to top 20. He never really took an extra step to become an all-star level player. I mean, he could have maybe made the all-star game this year. Sorry for the interruption, but this is probably a better format for this video, isn't it? So you want to see the website, you don't want to see my ugly ass. But, yeah, so he was, Aaron Gordon, as I was saying, was a borderline all-star this year. There was some case for him to being an all-star, but you would have to be the most delusional, hardcore Nuggets fan to have him top 20. So we're starting off on a bad note here. Let's see what they thought here. Athleticism is the base for everything in basketball. Sure, there have been great players who are not great athletes, but what we usually see is great athletes developing into fantastic players during their careers. I think this actually has really changed a lot. I mean, you look at, like, the top 5 players. I mean, yeah, it's also definitely. I mean, Giannis is the best player in the world. He's like the most ultra athlete in the world. But I mean, Luka and Jokic are in the top 5. You know, Curry, not like super athletes. So I feel like they're gonna have a lot of people who are like super athletes, but he just never developed into that great of players. He came into the NBA as one of the best dunkers and a player with tremendous upside. Now, guess what? He's been improving in every area. We can confidently say he's a safe pick. Dang, so that's bad, because not only did they predict him to be top 20, they said he was a safe pick. Yikes. Alright, so let's go on to number 19. Oh god, we're kind of revealing. I keep scrolling too far here. I should use the arrow keys to stop scrolling too far. But we have Steven Adams. Top 20 player in the NBA. Yeah, definitely a bad prediction. He's like the 4th best player on the Grizzlies. Yeah, definitely not even close to top 20. I don't know why would, okay. Here's something that's going to surprise a lot of people. Only 24 years old, one of the best centers in the league. How good he is, but at the end of the day, the glue that holds OKC together is Adams. This man is an anchor and one of the best rebounders in the league. This past season, he averaged, yeah, he's a good rebounder. He still is. So many rebounds. I mean, yeah, he's good at what the things they said. He's a really good rebounder. They're not gonna mention anything else about he doesn't. I mean, he's good at setting screens and getting the rebounds, man. I don't understand how that would be top 20 unless you're like the greatest rebounder of all time, like you're Dennis Rodman or something. Yeah, I think this is a bad prediction even then. I feel like even then, if you were to tell someone Steven Adams is going to be top 20 in 5 years, they would have looked at you like, what? Yeah, I feel like this is a... Yeah, I feel like this was a bad prediction even then. I don't even know what to say to this. Number 18 is Jalen Brown. This is not a bad prediction, I would say. I think Jalen Brown maybe even a bit higher, but I think this is not bad at all. This is not bad at all. Jalen Brown, he's a great player. Not the kind of player casual NBA fans rave about. Number 3 overall pick, blah, blah, blah. So much talent, it's almost unfair for him and Jason Tatum to be on the same team. Hey, and they are pretty unfair. They're second seed right now. They're probably the best duo in the NBA. Yeah, he was 21 years old at this time. Yeah, I think this is pretty accurate. This is by far their best prediction so far. This is the only prediction of a player that actually is in the top 20 so far. That's good. 17, we have Trey Young. Now, this is impressive. I'm going to give them more credit for this prediction because Trey Young was not in the NBA at this point. He got drafted in 2018, and this was during the 2018 offseason when this article was made. So they predicted him to be top 20 before he was even in the NBA. So I got to give them some props for this one because Trey Young definitely top 20. One of the best scoring and passing combinations in the NBA. Because he averages like 27 points, 10 assists. Crazy, one of the best playmakers and scorers in the NBA. Not particularly the most efficient scorer, but it's made up for by his insane playmaking. Obviously not great on defense, so I think 17 would be probably a good spot for him. Most of the guys on this are safe bets to become great players in the NBA. This was a gamble, but it did work out because this one was correct. Since Jimmer Fredette. Yeah, well, yeah, hit or miss, cause a lot of people did not think he would be that good in the NBA with his play style, but he ended up becoming a pretty big hit. He's definitely not the next Steph Curry, but yeah, I think this is a good prediction. So we have back-to-back good predictions. Number 16, we have Bradley Beal. Now, this is definitely too high. Bradley Beal's not a top 20 player anymore, if we're being honest here. But I mean, he's still a good player. I'm not gonna hit on it that much. But yeah, he's definitely not top 20 anymore. Yeah, he's probably not the best player. I think Porzingis is the best player on the Wizards. Maybe Porzingis is in this because he was like I believe an All-Star 2018. Yeah, dang, Bradley Beal's only 29 now. That's crazy. I swear that man's like 38. He seems like a veteran, but he's only 29, bro. This man is just exiting his prime. Okay. Now we're on the 6-15, Kyle Kuzma, another guy currently on the Wizards. We have back-to-back Wizards here. Kyle Kuzma, I mean, he's a good player. Definitely a good player. Definitely not top 20, though. So a lot of people rave about Donovan Mitchell as the steal of the draft. But at the end of the day, many people believe that the real 2017 draft was Kuzma. Okay, that's a bad prediction. That's a bad prediction. Saying that Kuzma... bigger steals than Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell. If Donovan Mitchell make this list, it would be a good prediction because he is definitely top 20. Not Kyle Kuzma though, but I would say probably Kuzma, maybe top 40, top 30 if you're really pushing it. Maybe I'd have to name the 30. I can't. I'm gonna think of it, but yeah, second blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. So you got back-to-back Wizards there. Who are we gonna get? I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I didn't see the player at 13. I was looking up. I did see this one though. 14, Michael Porter Jr. Another guy currently on the Nuggets. We've got 2 players that are currently on the Nuggets, and we got 2 players that are currently on the Wizards in this. And MPJ, this is another gamble that they made because once again he had not played an NBA game when they wrote this article. So they gamble, but unlike the Trey Young one, they kind of took an L on this one. Michael Porter Jr. is a good player. Not 14th best player in the NBA. Not close to that at all. Not even close. Probably like the 3rd or 4th best player on the Nuggets. Yeah, I mean he's a good shooter. He's becoming more than just a shooter. He's getting a more versatile game, but not nearly what he was originally expected to be. Because he was originally made as the number 1 prospect in the 2018 draft, and then he got bumped down to being picked 14th because he got a severe injury, which is why they have him up here because they thought he would come back from his injury concerns. Which, I mean, he missed another entire season, and he didn't have injury concerns this season, but yeah, has not reached his potential that we saw before his NBA days left. So, He might even be higher on this list. Dang, so they thought they were lowballing him, but they're actually really highballing him on this list here. So let's go to number 13, DeAndre Ayton. All right, so another guy. So they picked 3 guys so far that had not played an NBA game on this list. And there was DeAndre Ayton. This one is this one's probably a miss. DeAndre Ayton, once again, he's a good player. But, yeah, definitely, there's no argument for him being a top 20 player, let's be real here. Let alone the 13th best player in the NBA. He's the 4th best player on the Suns. Yeah, I wonder, are they going to have Luka above Ayton on this list? That would be interesting, because if they have Ayton, Luka, they might have Marvin Bagley. Oh, no. That might be a real bad prediction. But if they have Ayton, Trey, and MPJ on here, they must have Luka, unless they really did not believe in him at the time. Okay, so we have 13 DeAndre Ayton. Who are we going to have at 12? We have Karl Anthony Towns. Okay, so this one, a lot of players, in I believe 2017, a bunch of NBA GMs were asked who would they build around if they picked any player in the NBA, and a majority of them picked Karl Anthony Towns as a player to build around it. And any players above Giannis, above LeBron, KD, they picked Karl Anthony Towns. And he has not came up to expectations, for being real here. He's the 2nd best player on the Wolves right now. He definitely is a good player, all-star level when healthy, but probably, 3rd, 4th best center in the NBA. Not the 12th best player in the NBA, not close to that. Probably, maybe top 20, maybe. I'm not mad if you said Cat was top 20, but he could be number 12, but he could be number 1, yeah. So yeah, people were really big on Cat. He never really got that much better since like his 2nd or 3rd seasons. He's really not gotten that much better. He's not gotten the traditional progressive curve that people thought he would. He's really just been around as good as he was in his 2nd and 3rd season since then. So number 11, we have Nikola Jokic. Yeah, this is far too low. But Jokic has improved so much more since this came out. Obviously, he's won 2 MVPs. He's the greatest passing big man of all time, arguably the greatest passer of all time, period. He's gotten a lot better as a scorer, pretty much everything he's gotten way better at here. Nuggets will be in one of the teams to watch over the next 5 years. It is true. Yeah. Yeah, Nikola Jokic, so yeah, they definitely lowballed him here. It would be hard to predict Nikola Jokic as a top, 3, 4 player in the NBA. Probably top 3 player in the NBA, at the very least, in 2018. That'd be extremely hard to predict considering how good Jokic was at that time. He saw massive improvement even from 2018 to 2019, so it'd be extremely hard to predict it. So even the fact that they have them at 11, I think, is still pretty impressive for the time. Oh god. Okay, this one's bad. This one's bad. We have number 10, Lonzo Ball. Yeah, this one aged very unfortunately. Lonzo Ball has not played in a season and a half, due to an insane injury. He's having to have a surgery that no NBA player has ever recovered from. He's planning to be the first. But even without that, he would not have been a top 10 player in the NBA. He was a good player when he was playing last, but yeah, he was definitely not a top 10 player, not even close to being a top 10 player in the NBA. He was the 4th best player on the Bulls. Don't quote us, but we could see him to be the next player to average a triple-double in the NBA, well after Ben Simmons becomes the 3rd in history. This has been a very badly aged quote. Yeah, don't quote us on this. Yeah, you don't want people to quote you on that. This aged very badly. Very much that aged very badly. Yeah, not much to say. Yeah, he never developed into a star. He never got into a star level player. He was a good player when healthy, but he's got so many injury concerns that it's really ruined him. Number 9, we have Kristaps Porzingis. All right, so Porzingis, I think there may be an argument for him being top 20. Okay, obviously he's not top 10 player in the NBA. No argument for that. But yeah. So this was after he tore his ACL, but they still had him as the 9th best player in the NBA. Um, yeah, I mean, this is the third guy we've had on this list that's currently on the Washington Wizards. If you would have told someone in 2018 that Kristaps Porzingis, Bradley Beal, Kuzma are all on the same team, you think they think it was a super team. But yeah, Porzingis, he had a lot of injury issues, and he never really developed that much past 2018. He actually is statistically having his best season this year. Had his best season this year. But it's just that he never really developed as much as you typically would in a curve upwards from his first few years. This was his best season, but his season was only a bit better than his seasons with the Knicks. So yeah, he just kind of stayed the same. So yeah, obviously this one, another one where he's a good player. No, way too high though. Never, no one would call him the 9th best player in the NBA. Now we're on to number 8, which is Devin Booker. I bet there's some people who would argue he's up this high, 8. I think it's a pretty good prediction. I mean, he's averaging 28 points a game. He led the team to the first seed in 2022. Yeah, I have not much to say about this. This one's a pretty good prediction, I gotta say. So number 7, we have Anthony Davis. Now, Davis, I think this is a pretty good spot for AD. I expected they would overrate him a lot, but I think 7's a pretty good spot. Obviously, he had so many injury issues, but when playing, he is probably around there. Yeah, 7. I would say he's better than LeBron now. I don't know how the playoffs are going when recording this, so maybe that aged terribly, but I'd say Anthony Davis is better than LeBron currently. So I wonder if they're gonna have LeBron. They said he was gonna retire, so I'm assuming they're not gonna have him in the top 20. They're not gonna have him in the top 20. So all right, Anthony Davis. So number 6, we have Joel Embiid. Now obviously, this is way too low. No one would call Joel Embiid the 6th best player in the NBA. He's probably gonna win regular season MVP this season. And no one would have him 5 spots above Jokic. Unless you're like Kendrick Perkins or something. But yeah, I say Joel Embiid. Yeah, this is a good prediction for him, definitely being in the top 20. Yeah, they were worried about his injuries. His injury concerns have gone down in recent years compared to how bad it was at this point. He missed his entire first 2 seasons in the NBA. But yeah, I'd say okay. There's not much to say there. A bit too low. They didn't. I think it'd be really hard to predict Joel Embiid being the league MVP in 5 years. Number 5. Wow, they got this one bang on the money. Luka Doncic had not played in the NBA yet, and they thought in 5 years he was going to be the 5th best player in the NBA. That is a damn good prediction, That's a damn good prediction. This is actually, I expected just being here to laugh at terrible predictions. This is a damn good prediction right here. To say a guy who had never played in the NBA and wasn't the number 1 overall pick, he was a 3rd overall pick, that he'd be a top 5 player in the NBA in 5 years, and he actually was. That's a really good prediction, man. This is applause, man. Applause. This is a very good prediction for them to actually have Luka in here. So, who do I think they're going to have number 1? I think they're going to have Ben Simmons way too high. He's going to be top 3. I think they might still have KD and Curry. And I think they're going to have Giannis number 1. I think they're going to get that one right. That's my prediction for this top 4. No! Okay, number 4, we have Donovan Mitchell. All right, so... Oh, okay, so they were saying... So I thought they were saying earlier that Kuzma was better than Mitchell. No, they were saying he was more of a steal. But Donovan Mitchell, 4th best player in the NBA. Okay, obviously that's way too high. But yeah, for a guy that had just came off his rookie season and didn't win Rookie of the Year, they were ranking him as the 4th best player in the NBA in 5 years. That's pretty insane. Yeah, they definitely overhyped him. I think they did good with Luka by what would have been seen as overhyping him at the time, but actually worked out perfectly. They definitely overhyped Donovan Mitchell. He's not the 4th best player in the NBA. He's still a very good player. Definitely would be in the top 20, maybe top 10 if you're pushing it. All right. Yeah. So yeah, because Donovan Mitchell had a really good rookie season. Number 3 of Jason Tatum. All right. So. I don't think we're going to have KD on this, because they've been hyping Ben Simmons up. They're going to have Ben Simmons top 2. Oh, no. Please don't say they have Ben Simmons being the best player in the NBA in 5 years, because that's going to be so... That's gonna be aging so horribly. But Jason Tatum. You'd have to be a diehard Celtics fan to call him a top 3 player in the NBA, but he's definitely up there. You could argue top 5. I wouldn't be that mad at you. Yeah, he's leading the Celtics. Great 2-way player, efficient. Definitely not mad at this one. This one was a good prediction, I'd say, even though they have him probably a bit too high. Number 2, Ben Simmons. This is the saddest one on the list because he should have been this. All the signs were pointing to him going at least somewhat in this direction. Maybe not that high. Maybe they overhyped him a bit here, but there's no way in any conceivable universe that Ben Simmons should have been anywhere where he is here now. I think you'd have to I would argue Ben Simmons is not a top 100 player in the NBA at this point, bro. Like, the guys, what was he averaging when he was playing? 8 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Can't shoot. Can't shoot free throws. Good defender. He's just Draymond Green with a worse jump shot at this point. He's the taller Draymond Green at this point, but with worse defense and a worse jump shot. And a worse passer at this point. He's a worse passer than Draymond Green. He wasn't even doing that great at playmaking this season. I don't know. Maybe 2024, Ben Simmons is going to come through, and he's going to show us all that he's really good. I highly doubt it, though. I highly doubt it. He is by far the most overpaid player in the NBA. And it's not anyone's fault other than himself, because he should have been this. He 100% should have been this. You can yell LeBron James at the top of your lungs and say everything you can to hate Simmons, but the truth is that this kid is one jump shot away from being the best player in the NBA. And he never got it. He never got that. And now he's just, oh my god. Oh my god. No one comes close to the top 2 guys. This is just the saddest timeline. Simmons is just an unprecedented talent in basketball. Can do literally everything on the court other than shoot. Oh no. Shooting is something you can learn if you put the time in. He did not. Sad from the future. He did not. Number 1 has to be Giannis. Okay, yeah. This is a 100 This is a 100% correct prediction. Giannis is the best player in the NBA, and they predicted he was the best player in the NBA. Great prediction here. And yeah, he was improving every single season, so not crazy how they were seeing him as being the best player in the NBA. So they really didn't see a lot of guys having longevity in this top 20. No LeBron, no Durant, no Curry in this top 20. The biggest L in this top 20 has to be Ben Simmons. 100% has to be Ben Simmons. Probably not a one. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even have to discuss it. The biggest W, I think Giannis and Luka are the biggest W's in this. Luka, I think, is the biggest W because he had not played an NBA game yet, and they got him bang on. And then Giannis predicting that he'd be the best player in 5 years, and he was. So who do you think? Comment below who you think will be the best players in the NBA in 5 years. I might do a video predicting who I think will be the best players in the NBA in 5 years. And yeah, bye.